Hi, my name is Trin.
And I'm Portia.
And we are honored to present Ayanna Pressley, Boston City Councilor, with the Leading Voices Award.
For her courage and work as an advocate for young women and young girls.
As the first woman of color elected to the council in its 100-year history, I'm gonna take it up. I have had the humbling honor of receiving many accolades since I've been elected, but they were all for my win and not for my work. And so this award is so very special because I didn't run to make history. I don't think there's anything redeeming about that. I wanted to make a difference. And to receive this award for my work is so validating and so encouraging and so humbling. And I say thank you, and thank you for that. As anyone who knows me will tell you, using my voice to bring attention to issues I care about has never been a problem for me. I'm loud. Throughout my academic years, teachers often sent home notes to my mother saying, Ayanna contributes much to the classroom. We are challenged because she doesn't know how to use an inside voice. Well, I embrace that loudness. Any girls that are big mouths in the room? Yeah. Raise your hand. You're changing the world. So I'm loud, I'm passionate, I'm outspoken, but if you were raised by my mother, you'd be exactly the same way. My mother, Sandy Pressley, who is my shero, my bedrock, the motivation for everything that I do, is here with me tonight. My story is not a unique one. Unfortunately, it's one that has been normalized for too many people, but my mother raised me alone. And I mean really alone. My father, unfortunately, was in the throes of addiction for much of my childhood. And when he got clean, he got right. And he went on to write and teach on the college level, and I'm very proud of him. But when he was in the throes of that addiction, he was in and out of prison for most of my life. And so things were challenging for my mother and I. We lived paycheck to paycheck. I was black, we were poor, we lived in a rough neighborhood. I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse and later sexual assault as a young woman. A single mom and her daughter, a dad in prison, rough neighborhood, living check to check, survivor of abuse. We were the embodiment of every ignorant stereotype some people have about the urban poor. There you all are. But stereotypes are the tools of the weak-minded and the weak-willed. Stereotypes are what desperate people fall back on when they don't have the courage, compassion, or common sense to see value in the person next to them on the subway. Stereotypes are what allow those in our society with harsh hearts and closed minds to believe the struggles of their fellow man and woman somehow validate their own successes. Stereotypes and society's refusal to challenge them are what convince young girls and women from challenging circumstances like mine that they are somehow, somewhat less worthy. That they aren't worthy of being loved, respected, or valued, that their future will be defined by meekness, mediocrity, and the men in their life. To all the girls and women here tonight who will question their worth, their value, their right to be loved, I want to say to you, you are worthy, you are valued, and you are loved. And I stand here as an example that although your past may inform your present, you needn't be hostage to it. Are you all hearing me back there?
Yeah.
You need to know this because throughout life there'll be a proverbial they. That they and us, the only difference between them and us and them and me is that they believe they were worth it, that they were entitled to it. As I've said so many times before, women are and girls, we can be ambitious and taskmasters and make lists of lists, but it doesn't matter if you're not operating with a sense of entitlement. And that's what I need for you girls to do. So know that, keep that in your heart when faced with ignorance, injustice, stupidity, and stereotypes. I had a mother to remind me of that. every single day of my life that I was loved and worthy and I was valued. Even today, my mother's my biggest cheerleader. If someone gave her this mic right now, trust me, we'd be in for a late night because she'd be recruiting you from our re-election campaign, and she wouldn't take no for an answer. You know, she was my not-so-secret weapon on the campaign trail. I like to joke she would go up to people and say, "Vote for my baby girl, because I said so." But seriously, not every girl grows up with the same support system I did, and that is, of course, tragic for the individual girl, but it's really a tragedy for our entire community. So my grandmother used to say, I know that I know that I know that broken girls grow up to be broken women, and we can't afford that. Broken women make broken communities, and broken communities make broken cities. When I was running for the city council, I was told that city councilors don't work on the issues that I intended to. That issues like teen pregnancy, sexual assault and rape, and sexual health education and breaking cycles of poverty and violence don't resonate with voters across the city. And that if that was my platform, I wouldn't win. And quite frankly, that it was a platform that would scare white voters. That was the conventional wisdom. But conventional wisdom is only conventional wisdom until it isn't anymore. I talked about girls in Roxbury and West Roxbury and Mattapan and the Back Bay and every neighborhood of this city to audiences of every race, religion, gender, and background, and I won. Because I'm not the only one that believes that you're worth it. Yeah. And I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the men in this room. Because we can't do this work alone. We need allies. And people that would think that the things that we champion are girls' and women's issues, no such thing. No such thing. The number of husbands and fathers and brothers and uncles who thank me for what I do every day. It would be a mistake if I didn't acknowledge all the wonderful men that are in this room this evening. Thank you for supporting this work. In November, I'm on the ballot again. And I plan to win again, talking about girls and women. Our girls need saving, and they don't even know it. But we do. And that's why we're here tonight, to support Girls Lead, not because we pity these girls, or because we want them to stay out of trouble. We're here tonight because we know the potential these girls possess. We know what these girls, if motivated and mentored, what they can accomplish. We know that in this room tonight, there are girls and women with the intellect and ability to change our city, change our world, and make history. But without your help, without your investment, I'm going to underscore that because often we give lip service to causes and ideas. But support is a verb. It is an action. And it must be demonstrated. And I thank you for doing that tonight. So I want to ask for your continued investment in that promise, that potential that could die on the vine of hopelessness and despair. We need these girls. We need their talents, their dreams, and their hopes. I know you've already given, but I'm going to ask you to dig a little deeper. Give just a little more, because every dollar makes a difference in the lives of these girls and the future of our Commonwealth. And besides that, they are worth it. Thank you.